The signal bungalows on the alley's crossings have held traces of their Santa Fe heritage for nearly 2 decades after the merger. Those faded, near-invisible marks from the old ATSF decals were one of the last remnants of the road that built this line and held it for nearly a century. And in 2016, they're slated for replacement. The Quiet Zone project is upgrading most of the old equipment in the alley, and that means that the old sheds are going to be replaced. The new bungalows arrived on site in March, but progress was fairly slow to get them installed. By June, most had been put in place, but still had yet to be cut in and begin service. It was a high green for Track 1, northbound freight on the way. In all my years of filming trains in the alley, this was actually my first time shooting from 13th Street. The mechanical bell on that far signal is about ready to kick the bucket. Rare locomotives have a way of making rail fans scramble for their cars, and we're no exception to the rule. The chase was on. We bailed out of the alley and jumped on Interstate 235, which parallels the Red Rock Sub for a couple of miles north of Nowers Yard. Near the end of this stretch of road, we found that the train had made a quick stop on the single main, and it allowed us to make our play substantially shorter. We set up in the neighborhoods just north of Britton Road and Western Avenue, and they were there to greet us in just about nothing flat. Fighting traffic through Edmond would have left us with little hope of ever seeing this train again, and so we opted to bypass towns and take the interstate straight north to Guthrie. We decided on a spot just north of the city itself, near the banks of the Cimarron River. about as far as we were willing to chase the train, and so we let it go on its way. The Bluebonnet and Green Giant haven't been seen much since we caught them here, but there was a report of them from the middle of nowhere in Wyoming about 2 weeks later. We sat around shooting the breeze for a few minutes, and then we were blindsided by a southbound grain shuttle that was in a siding maybe a mile past this crossing. Again, we scrambled, and we managed a quick and shoddy glimpse of him on the Cimarron River Bridge. Just south of the river, there's a short pacing stretch, where we got a much better look. As generic as this guy was, we were both headed to about the same place, and so our chase reversed direction. After working our way through Guthrie's traffic, we hopped on Broadway Avenue South. The line jogs to the west a little bit south of Guthrie, and it was a race to catch him at the crossing. He beat us there, but not by much. We figured we'd lose him past here, but luck was again on our side. He slowed down considerably, and we struck out ahead of him. Getting into Edmond from the north, we decided on a play at the bridge over Covell Road. This bridge was built in 2010 when the city of Edmond decided to widen the road to accommodate the massive amounts of traffic from housing developments in the area. There's houses everywhere out here, but you can't see too many of them from this spot. We kept pushing south towards home, and we were ahead of him again by the time we got back to the alley. We pulled in at 9th Street, where some local musicians were putting on a concert.
I can't change who I am.
Maybe the guy singing the song will never change, but 9th Street and the alley are getting ready to in a big way. If you paid attention to the video from June 6th, you may have noticed that 9th Street was under construction when we filmed the local freight there. Well, in the couple of weeks between the videos, they completed the work. The old Rock Island rails in the street are now gone. The old crossing signals were torn out, bases and all, and in their place are brand new upgraded arms. 9th Street is officially up to specs for the new downtown OKC Quiet Zone, which is expected to be finalized in 2017. If you're an Oklahoma rail fan, I'd recommend getting down to the alley before the trains blow their horns there for the final time. Evening turned to night, and the dispatcher held the grain shuttle on Main 2, just above 16th Street. The crew gave us one last nod, and we were on our way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.